Hello, and thank you for joining me in this 5-day slowdown challenge. Modern life can be incredibly busy. That's not just physically busy, we can be very busy in our minds. I know there's times where I'm sat on the sofa relaxing in the evening, but my mind is wandering to things from the past and certainly things I need to do in the future. And we have a responsibility to ourselves. The world of the internet and social media has made it easy for us to have access to information 24/7. And whilst that's a wonderful thing, if we don't have good boundaries in place, it can become a little bit overwhelming. We can find ourselves drowning in information and data. So the whole purpose of this challenge over the next 5 days is to give you some really simple lessons and techniques that you may or may not already know that are going to help you to be more present in your lives. So some of the techniques are kind of some of the mindfulness techniques, and we know this stuff. A lot of the stuff I'm going to share with you, I'm going to send you a lesson each day, and we know a lot of this stuff, but it's the difference between knowing it and actually implementing it and practicing it. As humans, our brains go to the path of least resistance, and so we like to do what's familiar to us. So if we've got ourselves into some bad habits, whether they're physical or thinking habits, if we want to change them, then we have to implement and we have to practice, otherwise things aren't going to change. So over the next 5 days, each day you will be sent a new lesson into your inbox. I will also post the lesson in the Simple Life group so we can sort of talk about how we found each activity. And today's activity is going to focus on noticing. So when we live busy lives, we go through our lives very task orientated, and what that means is we're just focused on the task in hand, or we might be thinking about the next thing that we need to do. So we're often finding in our minds we are either living in the past or in the future, and very rarely we lose that sort of capability of living in the here and now. So today's activity is very much about slowing down and allowing yourself time to notice. Because when you slow down and you live in the moment, all of your senses start to fire off. And so you start to see things that maybe you haven't seen before, or you give yourself time and space to hear the birds, to hear nature, to smell things, to feel the feel of earth under your feet. So when we start to become more present in the here and now, all of our senses start to actually fire off, and we start to notice what's going on around us, and it's a wonderful thing. So today's activity is 15 minutes. If you can get out into nature, fabulous, because that's a great one for the senses. But what I want you to do today is take 15 minutes to go out for a walk. Okay, if you can't get out, then do something in your office or in your home. But the whole purpose of the activity today is just to give yourself 15 minutes where you put your phone to one side, you clear your mind of all the activities that you need to do for that day, and you just spend 15 minutes walking around your local area if it's safe to do so, or driving somewhere and going for a walk in the woods. And just take that time to be really present for those 15 minutes, and notice what you notice. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you feel? Really tap into those, to your senses, and just be really mindful of what thoughts are popping in and out of your head, and try to put them to one side and just continue to just really focus in on what is going on around you. Be curious about any distractions. Are they distracting thoughts, or are they certain noises that are distracting you? So just 15 minutes of your day, whether you do that in your home or whether you do that out and about, but really notice what goes on around you. Then what I want you to do is just take a few moments to write down how you found that experience. What did you notice? What did you see? What did you smell? What did you feel under your feet? You know, if you were out walking, was the earth under your feet crispy? You know, what did the air smell like? You know, just write a little bit about what you experienced and also how you found the experience of doing it. Did you find it hard to just focus on what was going on in the moment? Did your mind keep wandering off to things? And that's kind of it. You know, what we're going to start doing is practicing being much more present. We're in the here and now, and noticing is a really lovely place to start. So good luck with the activity. I will post a little bit more about the activity below this video, and we'll catch up tomorrow and see how you got on.